I try not to do a whole lot of moving around because sometimes when I do too much walking, I break out in hives on my leg. I hate it.
I feel fabulous about my current caregiver, but I'm talking about other people. If that person doesn't thoroughly clean, then we have a problem.
If you've watched My 600-Pound Life, you know the show can be emotional, shocking, and even inspiring. But every now and then, there are moments that make you want to cover your eyes and laugh nervously at the same time. The kind of scenes that leave you saying, did that really just happen? These are the most cringeworthy moments the show has ever given us. Here's Cynthia, whose weight is already above 600 pounds. Every morning for her felt like a scene from a horror movie. She would wake up with constant pains and body aches that left her unable to do anything, and her journey began like this.
Wake up in the morning, I start hurting because the pain is intense. My ankles are swollen all the time. My knees are constantly in pain. My body is pretty stiff because I haven't moved all night, so it's hard for me to walk.
That's a very horrible feeling. Trust me, having to be trapped in your own body, I would lose my mind if I were in her shoes. Her weight problem got so bad that even her family members started to feel like she was a burden.
Once I get out the shower, my daughter comes in and she'll clean out the back of my legs. My arms are too short to reach.
Isn't Cynthia lucky to have such a sweet daughter? Imagine having to go through this all by herself. It would definitely have been crazy, but her weight problem didn't just start. Right from when she was in 5th grade, she noticed that she was way bigger than most of her schoolmates.
I was bigger than the other kids. I was probably in like a women's 20 by the time I was in 4th and 5th grade. But my family never made a big deal about my size.
Of course she was going to be bullied. Kids back in the day were never really nice to each other. Cynthia's weight was getting to her in all kinds of ways. The worst of them all was the fact that she could not play with her kids as much as she wanted to.
So I have to watch from the parking lot. I can see the benches in the playground area, but they're too far for me to get to, and there's nothing between for me to stop and rest.
On a scale to 1 to 10, how much I would like my mom to be out here is 100.
This has to be every mother's nightmare. I mean, who wouldn't want to spend time with their kids? You know what was more annoying about Cynthia's situation? It was the fact that she couldn't stop herself from eating and adding more weight. Take a look.
I stopped to get a snack. Hi. I need 3 large jalapeno kolaches, 2 glazed twists, a donut hole, a small orange juice, and a large orange juice.
If she loves her body, she better slow down with all the junk she's feeding her body. After having several fights with her brother, Cynthia finally realized she had to find a way out of her situation. So she paid a visit to Dr. Now, and this was how the visit played out.
Pretty unhealthy eating habits. I eat in excess if it's something that I really enjoy. I eat a lot of it.
So you don't get full?
Get full, but if it's something I enjoy,
I mean, isn't he right? It's pretty incredible that she can take care of all her kids with her weight. Anyway, the doc told her that she had just 30 days to lose 30 pounds, or else he wasn't going to approve her to get her weight loss surgery done. Is she going to be able to lose 30 pounds?
I don't know how the doctor's gonna react, but I hope at least he sees I'm trying.
How y'all doing? Good, and you? All right, so you lost 24 pounds. Tell me about your eating habit and what changes you made.
Well, she sure didn't meet her target to get approval for her surgery. But was that going to stop her from putting in the work? Oh, you can bet it wasn't. She actually did put in the work, and guess what? She got her surgery done. But I must tell you, it was a lot of work for the surgeons.
We have to be very careful not to do anything to push her body over the limit. But we also have to work fast. Turn the room lights off. Because the longer she's under, the greater the chances of a fatal event occurring.
That was not a pretty scene. Oh well, she had a lovely surgery at the end of it all. All that was left for her to do was recover properly and try everything possible not to end up in her previous situation. Let's hope she can do that.
Because I'm only going to get a certain information.
I'm good.
The worst pain that she has is probably when she sleeps, because she can't get comfortable.
Take the pain medication
But
to
it's
help
not,
you relax.
Clarence, that's okay. Pain medication is not gonna fix me being able to sleep on my stomach.
Most times, some of these guys never know how much damage or harm they bring to themselves, all in the name of satisfying a craving. They keep feeding their bodies with junk and eventually end up in situations that could almost end their lives. This was how Ashley R's story began.
I thought I would have my white picket fence, I'd have kids, but my life is nothing like that. It's a nightmare. My entire body is in constant pain. I'm completely miserable. It's a struggle to just move at this weight.
I mean, what could be worse than feeling the way Ashley R feels? No day went by in Ashley R's life where she did not shed a tear about how she looked. To make things even worse, she always had to ask for help whenever she wanted to do anything.
I cry in the shower because it's just painful. It is painful sitting there. It is painful holding myself up. It is painful when my mom scrubs my back.
It's really hard for Ashley to take a shower. I have to help her.
Trust me, you do not want to find yourself in Ashley R's shoes. The funny thing about Ashley R's situation was the fact that when she was much younger, her parents noticed signs that she was going to have a weight problem. How did that happen? They noticed that Ashley R was the only chubby kid in her class.
But I always assume it's baby, it's gonna go away.
Back in the days, we didn't think that was something wrong with Ashley. We thought that was just part of life, that she was healthy, we just loved to it. We never thought that was gonna be a problem later on in her life.
Wow, that must have been one hell of a traumatic situation. I mean, why would her uncle do such a thing? That's just sad. Moving on, when Ashley R met her husband, at the time, how much she weighed didn't matter. But over the years of their marriage, things started to change.
What I really loved about her was her sense of humor, her charisma, her eyes.
We did things. It was like a normal couple. But each year I kept gaining more weight, so we had to stop our outings. We had to stop.
It's normal for every husband to take care of his wife, but in her husband's case, he might need to get paid because he does everything literally. What was even more annoying was the fact that, despite her size, she still couldn't stop eating, and this was the reason she gave.
I feel numb, and it's better than feeling stressed. Every time I get out of the car, my stomach is so large that it presses on the horn.
You don't need me to tell you how much she hates her body after that. Anyway, she finally made a bold step and decided to pay a visit to Dr. Now. Even before she got to the hospital, she was already terrified of what the doctor was going to say. Well, this was how her visit went.
Biggest challenge with your eating habit?
I'm usually just snacking all day long.
So why are you doing that?
Because I'm hungry. I know I shouldn't eat like I do, but in everything I eat, I feel so guilty about eating it.
That does not sound comforting one bit, but he had to be very sincere with her. She was killing her body with all the food she was consuming, and if she didn't stop, she was not going to make it to 40. Listening to all that, she put in the work and finally got approved to have her surgery.
Lost 54 pounds. So how is your eating habit now?
I measure everything, I weigh everything in ounces, make sure the portions are under control. I have more protein, and now I don't snack at all.
That has to be the best news she has heard in a long time. Anyway, the surgery day came, and Ashley R had a very successful surgery. All that was left now was for her to heal and try to maintain a healthy life. But for Ashley R, it wasn't as easy as she hoped it would be.
You gotta walk through the pain. I feel like my stomach's like compressed like this. I'm gonna stand up. It slowly releases. It's just, I guess, baby steps at this point. I wish I had my entire family here, but I have Daniel next to me.
Thankfully, she has her husband by her side to help her make a quick recovery. Imagine her having to go through the healing process alone. She would have lost her mind. Even after the surgery and drastic weight loss, Ashley R still had issues with her eating habits.
How's it been for you since the surgery?
I feel like I'm disappointed in myself and my body and the way that I'm recovering, because before my surgery, I was exercising and I was so energetic.
Sure.
If you think the previous case was horrible, wait till you see this one. Gary, a 32-year-old guy, can't stand up from his bed. Oh, you heard me right. Every morning, someone literally has to come and clean him up, bring him to do basically everything for him. I'm telling you, it's a situation that's worse than horrible.
Going to the kitchen or hopping in the shower, but I can't do those things because I'm too heavy to get out of this bed. I can't even get out of bed.
His story begins like this. How do you even watch yourself get to this level? I just can't understand it. This guy probably eats like 100 times in one day. Imagine if he did not have his doctors come around to help him out. I wonder what life would be like for him. It's unbelievable.
I was pushing 200 pounds. One time, I was overhearing everyone talking when they thought I wasn't home about how bad I was doing with my weight. It made me cry.
At least we know where his problem started from. How do you weigh that much by the age of 10? Is that even possible? Gary says that his mom was the reason he turned out this way. She never controlled what he ate. If he wanted anything, he always got it, and sadly, in ridiculous amounts.
And I didn't realize it. I really didn't.
I stopped composing and arranging, and I started to lose sight of my regular life outside of using. But on the days I managed to hold off getting high, I would lean heavily on binge eating.
I mean, can you blame him for running to his mom and crying? If we're being honest, she's the reason for the whole thing. How do you eat 10 burgers in 24 hours? That is just insane on all levels. Aside from adding so much weight, does he know his heart has got to do extra work? That's just horrible parenting.
At least I did. Then it got to the point where I got too fat to be able to get out of bed. It's coming up on 9 months since that day, and I'm getting tired of spending all day.
He is one lucky young man. Yes, his mom was the major issue with him growing this fat, but we can't deny the fact that she loves her son. Even with his size, she doesn't stop showing him that motherly love. It's beautiful to see, but he needs to stop eating.
When I saw him bedbound for the first time, couldn't get out the bed, couldn't go to the bathroom, I was hurt, you know, because I've been working with Gary for years.
Am I glad to hear that? He finally understands that if he goes on with his excessive eating, things are going to worsen in the long run. He decides it's fine to meet Dr. Now and see if he has any good chances of getting better. For his sake, let's hope Dr. Now says something positive.
Time for me to change, and I'm willing to take the sacrifice of, you know, not eating as much, you know, to get better results.
And the only way that you're going to be able to lose weight and get out of the bed is going to be you.
Haha, better said than done, Gary. Better said than done. Of course, being unable to get out of the bed, he speaks to Dr. Now through his laptop. He tells the doc that he is ready to do whatever it takes to get better. It's not going to be easy, but let's have some faith in Gary.
But if you follow the diet and you're actually 745, then you should be in lower 600 in 2 months. And losing that weight and working along with PT should get you out of that bed.
Haha. Am I the only one getting the feeling that he didn't like that? Dr. Now says he has to be able to get out of bed first before he is going to see him. The look on Gary's face did not look like he was excited to hear that. Well, if he wants to be better, he has to put in the work. But getting out of bed seems like an impossible task.
Down into the band like you're pushing on the gas pedal. That's it. There you go. And then push down. Good. I'd say his prognosis is great as long as we keep moving forward with the standing.
I honestly find it hard to believe that Gary is going to be able to get himself out of that bed. I mean, he hasn't moved in God knows how long. Getting him out and ready to work on his exercises is not going to be easy. At least he wants to. Let's see how far he can go.
Don't close your eyes. Hello. Shoulders back. He's strong. He can pull himself up in bed. He can lift his limbs. He can pull himself up on his feet. He has the motivation, he has like a positive outlook.
Ha ha ha, he actually stood up. Impressive. Looks like he might have some hope after all. Even Gary could not believe he stood up. Yes, it was just for a couple of seconds, but at least he was able to get himself out of bed. In my books, that's progress, but it doesn't end there.
Good, and you haven't made much progress since then. So what's going on with you? How is your ability to get out of bed and walk?
My ability to get out of bed, I can get out of bed, but to move my legs and to walk.
Dr. Now did not like that answer, that's for sure. Gary has not made much progress with standing and walking out of bed, and Dr. Now is not happy about that. He felt that by now Gary would be able to Kobe around, but sadly, that is not the case. It looks like it's not as easy as he thought it would be.
And get your weight back down as much as you can.
Yes, that's what I'm...
Yeah. Taking some steps.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So Gary, I'm gonna give you a month and you need to be active and be able to walk and show me that you're making some progress.
Does this guy even want to lose weight? Dr. Now initially gave him 2 months to meet his target and he failed. Was he really expecting that he would get another 2 months? Ha 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 ha. Newsflash, Dr. Now does not fool around. You're either in or out. No middle grounds on it.
I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. But at least I'm in good hands. And I'm hoping, Dr. Now, let me come down to Houston. That's all I really care about right now.
I know you're speechless. Trust me, I also am. Look at how many people and all the stress it took to get Gary out of bed. Wow, I could never wish this on anyone for real. He is just fat. Anyway, Dr. Now is ready to see him. Now he has to travel down to the hospital. Can he make it?
Ready to get your way in.
Yeah, excited.
You want me to hold your phone?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm here at the local clinic Dr. Now had me go to, and I'm about to find out my weight.
Hi, guys.
Hi, nurse.
Hi, I'm Amber, and I'm
Hello,
just gonna
Amber.
put this on you.
Now that is high. Even Dr. Now won't want to hear that he weighs that much. It's written all over his face. He is not happy at all. He thought that he would be way less than that. But what was he expecting? He hasn't stood up from that bed in months?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So we got you to the clinic. We shouldn't have had to get so much help for you. But they're gonna run some tests on you and make sure there's nothing going on with you that's gonna lead to a medical emergency soon.
Well, there you have it. Dr. Now is not happy about his progress. It even feels like he went on to add some additional weight. Is he going to be able to lose his weight? It honestly seems like he won't. He is wasting so much time.
Okay, Gary, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and start, okay?
Okay. Today is my big weigh-in, and I'm nervous to find out if I lost weight or not. I was 764 pounds at my last weigh-in. So that means if I lost 70 pounds, I would be down to 694 today.
A second time? He still hasn't lost weight? At this point, he might as well just give up. He has had so many chances to work on himself, and for some reason, it seems like he just can't make the cut for surgery. Well, let's hear what the doc has to say about his second failed attempt.
A little progress, but...
Gary, just listen. When you're 759 pounds, 6 pounds is a fluctuation of weight. It's not weight loss.
I know, I understand.
Well, you heard the doctor. He is not happy about the situation, but he decides to give Gary his third and final chance. It seems like the doc really wants him to reach his goal. I really hope he meets the cut this time.
I'm getting out of bed twice a day to make sure my legs are getting stronger and stronger, and so that I get better at walking. I know Dr. Now is not gonna give me another chance after this.
Ow! Look at Gary go. He really is putting in the work. Looks like all the scolding Dr. Now gave him is starting to pay off. But is he going to make the cut for surgery this time around? Well, let's find out.
Because anything other than that just isn't good enough. But I'm feeling good because this is the hardest I've ever worked. I got all kinds of weight loss waiting for me in the future.
Man, that is just discouraging. It's like every time he tries to take out the fat in his body, it just keeps coming back. It's almost impossible not to feel sad for him. You can see he wants to lose weight, but he just can't get himself to do it.
Well, if you work hard and lose enough weight that you can come to Houston without medical transport, then we'll work with you. Other than that, I wish you the best, but I want to remind you that you don't have very much time. And if you don't start doing what you need,
Imagine not being able to comfortably lift yourself from the bed every morning. Or on most mornings you need assistance to get yourself up from the bed. Trust me, it's a very depressing feeling, and Jackie goes through that every single day. She wakes up and feels like she's carrying a planet in her stomach. Here is how her story begins.
Cabin that they own. This cabin, it's been very hard to take a shower in. This sticks out so far, like sometimes I have to keep the doors open. So it's hard to move around in the shower, but have to manage it on my own.
I would honestly hate my life if I were in Jackie's shoes. It feels like she can't even do anything for herself. Her grandma even says that she never thought Jackie would ever end up like this. Thank goodness she had them around. Life would have been hell.
My grandparents, she's the only person that I see regularly.
All right, Jackie. I think that's everything.
It brings a sense of comfort whenever I'm eating.
One thing we can't deny is the fact that Jackie has beautiful people who love her. Her aunt basically does anything she wants. Jackie even mentioned that her aunt always wanted a daughter, and since she couldn't get one, Jackie became her daughter. Isn't that beautiful?
I remember I would have to walk home from school because she would forget that I was there. I would come home from school and she would be passed out in that chair. And my father had a really big anger problem. He would get mad to the point where he was punching holes in the wall.
That is just sad. Jackie says that her life was growing up with just nothing to write home about. Her mom was a drunk who could not quit, and her dad had anger issues. It got so bad that her dad would punch holes in the wall anytime he saw her mom drunk. No child should ever have to go through that.
Getting a job at my size is hard, but I eventually was accepted and got hired on at a grocery supercenter. And then I realized that was really hard, being always on my feet, and then little kids looking at you they would point and laugh.
I mean, what was she expecting though? Being that fat and getting a job that needed her to always be on her feet was not going to be easy. But how long can she continue to struggle with her body like this? She's already over 600 pounds. It's sad that she has to find herself in such a horrible situation.
Been in the hospital at least twice, I believe, with cellulitis from the lymph leaking out of her legs and then setting up infections, and that's kind of scary.
That is just heartbreaking. Her aunt says that she has been to the hospital twice for cellulitis, and if she isn't careful with the way she eats, she could lose her life in the near future. And yet, Jackie still won't stop eating. Doesn't she care about her health?
I know that I have to change for the better. Because I'm at a point now, every day things are getting a little bit harder. My stomach is going lower and lower. And even though I'm trying to push past that.
Finally, she decides to do something about her weight. After going through so much pain and taking the time to think about how things could get really bad in the long run, she decides it's time to take her health seriously. Let's hope she follows through.
That's the longest that I've been in the car since I've been this big. It's going to be really painful, I think.
Take your time, baby. You got it, baby?
Yeah.
Baby, you got enough room?
Yeah.
At some point, I wasn't sure she was going to fit into the car. How do you even watch yourself grow to this extent? But can you really blame her? She lost her parents at a very young age. Jackie and her granddad are heading to see the doc who's going to help her with her condition.
You know, this is where your body stores that extra fat, and that pulls down because it's heavy, and then some fluid retention make it heavier, and then pull more down, and then more swelling. So
Dr. Now could not have said it any better for real. When you get this fat, the gym can't do much, if we're being honest. If she really wants to cut down some of her extra fat before getting surgery, she needs to cut down her food intake. But can she? She's already 710 pounds for crying out loud.
Normally, I set up the pre-made stuff on my weekends and then eat them throughout the week for my lunches at work. I normally get like the pre-made romaine lettuce. I get like mushrooms, tomatoes.
Wow. Seems like Jackie is determined to get rid of the excess fat she's carrying. She's stopped eating all the unnecessary junk she does and now adds a lot of vegetables to her food. Aside from that, she goes on walks with her aunt. She might make the cut for surgery after all.
I want it to be a lot. And I'm scared of what happens if it's not.
Jackie Rogers.
Last time I weighed 689, and Dr. Now wanted me to lose 70 pounds in 2 months.
Like she said, it's something, but it's not enough. Dr. Now needs to get down to at least 619 pounds before he is ready to take her in for surgery. Checking her weight, and she's just a few pounds over 619. Will she be able to get to 619 pounds?
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Well, Jackie, what's going on with you today?
The scale was showing that I gained weight instead of lost it.
Yes, I can see that. You gained 17 pounds. Why?
Oh, he is pissed. Dr. Now is disappointed with Jackie. Instead of losing weight so she can meet the requirements for surgery, she's adding more weight. She blames it on the fact that her dad's burial date came up and it made her depressed. Well, Dr. Now doesn't care.
I still don't know what to do. I don't know how to move forward. I feel lost.
Okay. I see, the emotions there, but are you protecting me from the emotion, or are you protecting you from the emotion?
Now that's why she has not been able to bring herself to lose weight. She's been bottling up all her emotions. Dr. Now referred her to a psychiatrist so she could feel better about herself and hopefully gain the confidence to work on herself.
She gets to her target weight if she stays on track. But we will keep an eye on things with her as we move forward to make sure that she doesn't get comfortable and start to slip back into her old habits.
Isn't that lovely? Dr. Now was able to get her to cut down to a size where she could have her surgery. She finally gets her surgery done, and things are looking like they would turn out for the best.
It's been about a month since my surgery, and I'm doing really well according to Dr. Now. I'm even a little bit ahead of the curve for how much weight I've lost last month. And Dr. Now says that's good, because my surgery weight was a little bit higher than what he usually sees.